Hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, the BRICS bloc announced that it will work on creating a payment system that is based on blockchain and digital technologies. This new system will settle trades and transactions, and it will effectively become an alternative option to the United States dollar. The move is going to be absolutely crucial in helping the bloc trade in local currencies, and it will help them reduce their reliance on the dollar, of course. This is yet another step towards de-dollarizing. The blockchain system is going to be part of the BRICS financial system that will allow the member countries to completely avoid using any of the Western transfer systems, such as the SWIFT, for example. The BRICS announced that the system will be available to countries, to businesses, and even to people. The announcement underscored that they do want the system to be completely free of politics, of course referring to Western economic sanctions here. You may recall that I shared an overview of all 2024 BRICS bloc plans in a recent video. One of the main goals this year is to facilitate BRICS countries' monetary transitions, and this is precisely what we're seeing here. Yuri Ushakov, who is a Russian diplomat, presidential aide, and one of the BRICS representatives, said that they are working to develop what's referred to as the contingent reserve arrangement. So they're working on a reserve that will, in theory, back the currency. So their currency is likely not going to be fiat. This agreement between all BRICS countries will lay out the system regarding the use of local currencies. So we're definitely starting to see the bloc go beyond just planning. They're actually starting to execute their plans. And you may also recall that Russia is the chair of the BRICS bloc this year, so the news will likely be announced by the Russian side. And there is no timeline that we know of anyway at this point in time of when the new BRICS blockchain system will be launched. But if you recall, the BRICS summit is scheduled for October of this year, and it will take place in Kazan. So it might be safe to assume that by that point in time, this new system will be either ready to be launched, or we will find out more about the timeline then. Besides the blockchain and digital system, the BRICS bloc partnered with the Bank of Russia to create the BRICS Bridge multi-sided payment platform that will become part of the global monetary system. So this is yet another step to impact how the financial system worldwide functions. In a post on X, Yuri Ushakov addressed the claims, mostly made by Western mainstream media, that the BRICS bloc, quote-unquote, attacks the United States dollar by creating an alternative system that will free them of Western sanctions. Of course, the new system is a threat to the West because its economic sanctions will be absolutely useless when this new system is fully live. Here's Yuri Ushakov's post. He said Russia has never set BRICS in opposition to other international platforms. BRICS does not compete with anyone, he says, nor does it challenge anyone. It is not an anti-West association. Of course, anything that is not pro-West is immediately seen as anti-West, using that very simple logic. But these new systems that the bloc is developing are supporting them, and they're developing economies. And the West is free to do away with sanctions in order to make the dollar appealing again. So there's that option on the table too. But of course, nobody wants to use that, right? Another statement by Ushakov that I know many of you would appreciate is this one. He says the recipe for BRICS attractiveness and success is based on the absence of a confrontational or hidden agenda. It brings together like-minded countries, he says. The BRICS states express the interests of the global majority. One of such interests is de-dollarization that is clearly on top of their priority list. Moving away from the dollar and the move's consequences were discussed during the interview that Tucker Carlson had with Russia's President Vladimir Putin. Here's a very small clip from the interview that addresses de-dollarization and the overall perspective on the process. Watch.
To use the dollar as a tool of foreign policy struggle is one of the biggest strategic mistakes made by the US political leadership.
Это основа основ могущества США.
The dollar is the cornerstone of the United States power. I think everyone understands very well that no matter how many dollars are printed, they are quickly dispersed all over the world.
По-моему, 3%, примерно 3-4, что ли. Вот, приемлемо для США абсолютно.
Inflation in the United States is minimal. It's about 3 or 3.4%, which is, I think, totally acceptable for the US. But they won't stop printing. What does the debt of $33 trillion tell us about? It is about the emission.
Как только политическое руководство приняло решение использовать доллар в качестве инструмента политической борьбы,
Nevertheless, it is the main weapon used by the United States to preserve its power across the world. As soon as the political leadership decided to use the US dollar as a tool of political struggle, a blow was dealt to this American power. I would not like to use any strong language, but it is a stupid thing to do and a grave mistake.
сокращаются запасы доллара сейчас. Все смотрят на то, что происходит, и начинают искать возможности.
Look at what is going on in the world. Even the United States allies are now downsizing their dollar reserves. Seeing this, everyone starts looking for ways to protect themselves. But the fact that the United States applies restrictive measures to certain countries, such as placing restrictions on transactions, freezing assets, etc., causes grave concern and sends a signal to the whole world. What did we have here? Until 2022, about 80% of Russian foreign trade transactions were made in US dollars and euros.
В наших расчетах с третьими странами. Значит,
US dollars accounted for approximately 50% of our transactions with third countries, while currently it is down to 13%. It wasn't us who banned the use of the US dollar.
США приняли решение ограничить наши расчеты в долларах.
We had no such intention. It was decision of the United States to restrict our transactions in US dollars. I think it is complete foolishness from the point of view of the interests of the United States itself and its taxpayers, as it damages the US economy, undermines the power of the United States across the world. By the way, our transactions in yuan accounted for about 3%.
Сейчас 34%.
Today, 34% of our transactions are made in rubles and about as much, a little over 34% in yuan.
Зачем Соединенные Штаты это сделали?
Why did the United States do this? My only guess is self-conceit. They probably thought it would lead to full collapse, but nothing collapsed. Moreover, other countries, including oil producers, are thinking of and already accepting payments for oil in yuan. Do you even realize what is going on or not?
Ну, вы понимаете, что это такое происходит?
Does anyone in the United States realize this?
Понимаете, в тех же Соединенных Штатах?
What are you doing? You are cutting yourself off. All experts say this.
То, что всегда...
Ask any intelligent and thinking person in the United States what the dollar means for the US.
Что такое доллар?
You're killing it with your own hands.
It is absolutely clear that the new blockchain system will be a game changer and something that will allow the BRICS bloc to be seen as a very serious competitor in the financial markets. I will keep you updated when more information is officially released. Thank you for watching. Please show your support. It truly does go a long way. Give this video a thumbs up, consider sharing it, and subscribe on Rumble and on YouTube. I would love to have you back for my next one tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.